it must be so exciting for you to be part of the Spider-Man Homecoming family, because it's those kind of films that people internationally get so excited about. So tell us about your first impressions when you started it.
Well, I mean, this movie is so much fun. I think so many people, like you said, would love to be where I am and be a part of this movie. And I'm so lucky to be one of those very few. It's very exciting. It's, you know, it's such an iconic character, and Spider-Man means so much to so many people around the world. I think, you know, it's exciting to have this new, refreshing, you know, take on who he is, because we have seen him be Spider-Man a million times, but we never really get to dig more into who Peter Parker is. And I think that that's what this, you know, film really shows, is the human being behind the suit, which is a 15-year-old kid, you know, from New York, who's just trying to figure it out and do the right thing. So
were you much into reading the comic books growing up, or was it the films mostly? Because there's so much Spider-Man around there.
It was the films mostly. I think as a kid, I wasn't into comic books. I didn't really have anybody to bring me into it or show me about it, so I never really got into it. But when the movies, that's kind of how I know, at least, about superheroes. And I remember he was always my favorite because he's always been the realist, you know? He's always, you know, he is two people, so he's not the superhero all the time, you know? Nobody knows who he is, really. He's Peter Parker. And that side of him is more tangible for people because he's like us, you know? If anybody who is ever awkward or not the cool kid, or anybody who wasn't born into wealth or wasn't handed anything in life, that's, you know, you can connect to him, because that's what he is. He's a normal kid with a very abnormal life, and something happened to him. He wasn't born into it, you know? So
why do you think superhero films in general are so fascinating to audiences around the world? You know, why children grow up and always wanting to be superheroes?
Because it's like our, you know, it's like everyone has that fantasy, you know? It's like of being able to be like this bigger version of yourself, you know? And I think that that really is kind of what Peter Parker and Spider-Man represent. It's showing that, you know, just because you aren't the coolest kid in town, and you don't, you know, you're not the most popular and whatever, everybody has the potential to be amazing and be great. I mean, obviously this is a very extreme version, you know, he has Spidey powers, but you know, if you kind of look at it in a real sense, he's showing kids that anybody has the capability to be their own superhero, you know? And that's why I think people love him.
It's been success after success for you, and you started your career so young. What do you feel you've learned growing up in the limelight and in showbiz?
I think the most important thing I've learned is never to grow up too quickly. I think I'm okay with being the age that I am right now, and I just want to take my time and grow, and I'm not trying to rush myself, because time will always move forward, but it'll never go back. So I got to enjoy the time that I have now while I have it.
Any actress you particularly like to watch on the screen and that's an inspiration for you?
I mean, there's a very long list of actresses and actors that I love and I look up to and I appreciate the work of. But we would be here for a very long time.
And tell us about Tom Holland and what makes him now the uber Spider-Man that he's gonna show us.
I think you know, the best thing about Tom is that he loves being Spider-Man. Like, this is like his dream job, you know, and you can really see that. And he worked his butt off to make a great movie. Him and John really put everything they had into it, and you know, they have an amazing result because of it, you know, and they're very proud of their work, and they should be. And I think another thing is because, you know, it's good to know that the person who plays your favorite superhero is actually a good person in real life, and that's what he is. And he wears that suit with pride, and he tries to be that superhero as much as he can, so it's great.